Good morning, class. How's everyone today? Oh, Teacher Jonna feels happy that all of you are fine. Now, can you please turn on your camera before we start so that I can see you and take attendance first? Thank you so much. Before we proceed, please allow me to share my screen. Today, we will explore one of the most powerful explanations of how human beings learn. Vygotsky's social-cultural theory. By the end of this lesson, you will understand why the people around you, the culture you grew up in, and even the language you use play a huge role in shaping the way you think and learn. So let's begin our journey into how society helps build the mind. Here are our learning targets for today. First, you will explain how social and cultural factors influence cognitive development. Second, you will analyze the role of interaction, language, and collaboration in learning. Third, you will apply the concepts of the zone of proximal development and scaffolding to real situations. And finally, you will compare Vygotsky's view with Piaget to see how they differ. By the end of the lesson, you won't just know the theory, you'll see it in your everyday life. So we have here a scenario, a real-life college experience. Let's start with a simple story. We have Maria, a freshman college student. She struggles with statistics, the numbers don't make sense, and studying alone only frustrates her. But when she joins study group, something changes. Her classmates explain concepts, share examples, and guide her through practice exercises. So let me ask you, what changed for Maria after joining the study group? Anyone please raise your hand for recitation? Yes, we have Jamela. You're right, Jamela. Next question is, how did her peer influence the way she learned? Yes, Rian. You're correct, Rian. Now, I want you to be honest with me. Who here has had an experience like Maria, who gets the lesson better when she has a partner to study with and is embarrassed to ask the teacher if she doesn't understand something? Please comment on our comment section. Oh, it's a quite a lot. That's what Vygotsky is all about and means. The foundation of sociocultural learning. Vygotsky believed that learning is not something we do alone. It is a dynamic process that happens through our experiences, our conversations, and our interactions. Three ideas explain this foundation. One is the learning is socially constructed. The second one is language shapes thinking. And the third one is learning happens with the guidance of someone more capable. So, what are those? Let's tackle one by one. The first is the learning is socially constructed. We don't grow mentally by isolating ourselves. According to Vygotsky, our minds develop through interaction with our culture and community. Think of how you learn. Traditions from your family, values from your community, study habits from your classmates, all of these are forms of social learning. We become who we are because of the people around us. The second one is the language shapes thinking. Vygotsky said that language is not just a tool to express thoughts. It is a tool that creates and shapes our thoughts. The way we label things, the words we use in school, even our mother tongue, all influence how we understand the world. This is why discussions, explanations, and conversations are essential in learning. The third one is the role of the expert guide. In learning, there is always someone who knows more. A teacher, a mentor, an older sibling, or even a peer. This person is called the more knowledgeable other. They guide us, model the thinking process, ask questions, and provide support. And because of them, we accomplish tasks we cannot do alone. Next is the ZPD, the Zone of Proximal Development. This ZPD is one of the Vygotsky's most famous ideas. It is the space between what a learner can do alone and what the learner can do with help. That space, the almost but not yet area, is where real learning happens, when tasks are challenging but achievable with support. We have ZPD diagram. Here's a clearer visualization. The too easy in circle shows what the learner can already do independently. The ZPD in middle circle shows that they cannot do alone but can do with support. This is the ZPD. And the too hard circle shows tasks that are still too difficult. As teachers or educators, we want to guide students in that middle space where learning is most meaningful. So we have the scaffolding. Scaffolding refers to the step-by-step instructional support given to learners as they acquire new skills. So here's how scaffolding help learners. We use scaffolding just like construction. Scaffolds in construction should support a building temporarily, while in the learning, instructional scaffolding supports learners until they can stand on their own. The teacher gives hints, prompts, examples, demonstrations, and gradually removes support when the learner gains confidence and mastery. So we have the scaffolding process. Here's how scaffolding looks in action. The number one is the high support. We start with the direct instruction, modeling the task step by step. The moderate support, we let students practice with guidance, feedback, and prompts. And then the independence, the solo mastery, eventually the student performs the task alone, the support fades. This is how students move from struggle to mastery. So we have the Piaget versus Vygotsky. Now, let's compare Vygotsky with another giant in cognitive development, Jean Piaget. Piaget believed learning depends on the learner's stage of development. It is mostly individual. Vygotsky argued the learning happens first socially and development follows. Where Piaget emphasized independence, Vygotsky emphasized collaboration and culture. Where Piaget said language reflects thinking, Vygotsky said language shapes thinking. Two different views, both important, but today we highlight how learning is deeply social. Now let's apply what we have learned. In groups, identify a real-life situation where learning happens socially. It can be online study groups, cultural traditions, workplace mentorship, peer collaboration. Then answer these questions. How does social interaction support learning? Who serves as the more knowledgeable other? What cultural tools help learning? And how does it reflect social-cultural theory? You will present your output in 3 to 5 minutes. This is your chance to experience Vygotsky's ideas. All right, so let's proceed to our reflection paper. For your next task, write a 5 to 8 sentence paragraph on how Vygotsky's theory connects to your own college experience. Think about study groups, collaboration, peer tutoring, or teachers who guided you. Write it in a yellow pad and then pass it to me. We have an assignment. For your assignment, interview someone who has guided or mentored you, a teacher, coach, supervisor, or even a parent. Explain how they extended your abilities, identify the scaffolding techniques they used, and describe how you eventually became independent. This will help you understand ZPD and scaffolding in a personal, meaningful way. And that wraps up our lesson. Thank you so much, class, for listening and participation. Remember Vygotsky's powerful message. Through others, we become ourselves. Our learning is built through the relationships, culture, and community around us. Again, I am your teacher, Jonah, and it was a pleasure sharing this with you today. See you on next meeting. Bye!